Hey, this is Chris, and welcome to the Power of Quiet. This is a brand new channel with a brand new outlook on how to live your life. Living your life in the flow, in the moment, in a place of peace and quiet, serenity. And it's an awesome place to live. And if you find this helpful, if you like what you see here, then hit the subscribe button. This way, as I add new content, it'll be delivered straight to you, and you'll stay connected and stay in the flow with the messages that'll be coming through on this channel here. Also, below in the comments, you'll see a link to powerofquiet.com. Come on over and sign up, and you'll get some great tools for mastering your mind and being the master of your fate, really taking charge of your life. Now, let's talk about how your mind works and the tendency of relying on your mind. Now, one thing that we all do this, is we constantly plan for eventualities in the future. And so we tend to rehearse things and run them through our minds about things that we perceive as coming up in the future. So let me give you an example. So you have like an important meeting, someone that you're going to talk to, and it's about something that is really important to you. It's coming up in a couple of days. So what do you spend the next couple of days doing? You run the whole conversation through your mind, right? Okay, so what if they say this? Or what if this comes up? How am I going to handle that? How am I going to say this? And if I say this, what are they going to say? So you run this whole conversation from both parties in your head, right? And you notice how it just kind of goes on and on and on. And you'll do this constantly, all the way up until the event actually happening. And then what happens when you show up? Sometimes, no matter how much rehearsing that you do, you always get thrown a curveball. It's not anything that you ever imagined. And it's like all this rehearsing, all this planning, it just goes right on out the window. What a waste of time, right? Or even if you do have it all rehearsed, and you just kind of run through the whole speech that you prepared in your mind, it's kind of canned, the whole thing. Whereas, I know you've experienced this, a whole different way of approaching it, where you don't bother rehearsing the whole thing, or maybe you do, but then you throw it out before you show up, or just something happens, but you show up fresh. You just show up in the moment, just open to any possibility, without any preconditions in your mind. And it's pretty fantastic, isn't it? It's like it's open, it's in the flow, and it's harmonious. In fact, things can kind of come up in the meeting, in the conversation, that are beyond what you could even imagine. And it feels fresh, and it feels alive, not canned. So notice that experience between those two states. And that shows you what you get into when you rely on your mind. You just kind of get stuck. You get stuck in dead conversations. And it's all a waste of time. Now, what if you could just live your life totally in the flow? Live your life without expectations. Probably two things come up when you consider this. One, there's a sense of freedom, of liberation. There's probably also some fear that comes up. Well, what if I don't know what to do? What if I mess it all up? Shouldn't I be prepared? And where's that conversation happening? Right here in the mind. That's your friend, the mind, nudging you. Whereas that sense of liberation, relief, like, wow, that would be great. That's not coming from your mind. That's like coming straight from your heart. So, which would you rather listen to? Would you rather listen to your mind, or would you rather listen to your heart? Now, if your mind is screaming at you saying, well, no, that's impossible, or I gotta plan it out, or else I won't know what I'm doing, and that fear or that resistance there, you just welcome up that energy. Just see it as energy coming up now. And just let it go. And let go of being afraid. That's your decision now. Could you let go of being afraid? And let it go a little bit more. Just a feeling. And if it's just a feeling, it's not even real. After all, have you met a feeling ever? Have you ever met fear? You felt fear, but it's just a feeling. And if you felt it, who is it who's feeling it? You're feeling it. Which means you're in charge. You're the boss. And just let it come up and let it go, since you're the boss. And just let go of being afraid. It's a decision. You just decide, yes, I let it go. Let it go a little bit more. And let it go a little bit more. And notice every time you decide to let it go, and it's just as simple as saying yes, you get that much bigger than your mind. You get more in charge. This is called taking your power back. And see now, if it's easier to exist in a state of being in the flow, having no expectations. And see if you feel more in control and more in charge now that you don't have to sit around spinning this repeating record in your mind of these conversations. You notice how that's such a waste of time and energy? It drains you. See, let's look at another scenario. Say like you want to ask somebody out on a date and you know you're going to see them in a couple of days. Now, you can get into your mind and get into spinning. Well, what are they going to say? Are they going to be friendly? Are they going to be approachable? What is it going to be like? Notice you have no idea. You have no idea at all. I mean, your mind will come up with ideas, but it really has no idea, has no clue what is going to happen in that moment. So thinking about it, planning for it, really is a waste of time. And with all that thinking and planning, when you show up like that, you're nervous, you're second guessing yourself, you're in your head. And so you're not acting natural. Whereas when you just show up fresh, without any expectations, you're just yourself. You just allow whatever to come up. Even if, it's not perfect, you're okay with it. And you just kind of go with the flow, and you kind of turn imperfection into perfection just by being yourself. So I just point this out for you to notice how you use your mind and how you put energy into this thinking that really is a waste of time. So just notice this and make a decision to just let go of your mind. Now, on the next video, I'm going to follow up with this point and take a look at expectations and place an importance on the outcome of things. Because that's what kind of gets us into all of this business of, it's so important, I got to get it right, I got to plan for it. So we're going to nip that one in the bud. But in the meantime, just notice how you can exist without your mind, and it's so much more fresher and aliver. And you can make the decision to step into that space. All right, so again, hit the subscribe button and join this movement, this force of beingness. And bring it into your life and bring it into your daily practice of just living and being yourself. All right, so till next time.